who are not here. So we are going to go over Module 2, 2.04 and 2.05. I know that you have not done these yet. This is on the schedule for this Friday. So if you're ahead and you still want to listen, that's fine. You're welcome to. If you haven't even looked at the lesson yet, that's okay. This is kind of a preview, and for me to help you out with things that might be a little difficult with it, I do expect you to go back and read lesson 2.4 and take your notes, do the assignment, read lesson 2.5, take your notes, and do the assignment, okay? So this is kind of just an introduction to what the lesson is about, and then I expect you to go and spend your time with it and really review the lesson itself, okay? So without further ado, let's jump into it. Please have 2.04 open in a different tab and also your pace chart. Right? If you have questions at the end, I'll hang out and I can go over that with you, or you can always call me or text me to help you out. So your assignment for my 7th and 8th graders, since there are 7th and 8th graders here, right, for 2.04 is your research and organization part. Right? For 7th grade, you're going to complete an informational research chart for a problem solution article by gathering information on an everyday monster. And 8th graders, I'm sorry I didn't put it in here, but you are going to do your own research on a topic and how it affects society. And I do have those topics for you, and they're in the lesson. Okay? So you're both doing informational research. 7th grade, it's provided for you. 8th grade, you need to do the research on your own. All right? And again, this is an introduction and an overview. This is not the whole lesson. So you need to go through the whole lesson on your own. All right, so 7th graders, you have a problem solution. 8th graders, you're doing research on something that's impacted society. Okay, so 7th graders, I want you to go to, in lesson 2.04, page 7 right now. So 7th graders, go to page 7 in lesson 2.04. And 8th graders, you can do the same thing. And I'll go over the 8th graders in just a minute. Do I have any 8th graders here? Okay, so it's okay, Ashley. We're jumping in. Open your lesson to module 4 and go to page 7. So for my 7th graders, take a look at the choices below. This is your assignment on page 7. And select the everyday monster that most interests you. So you have 3 choices, 7th graders. You have vultures, Komodo dragons, and jellyfish. And if you look on page 7 of the lesson, the articles are provided for you. There's 2 links on page 7 in the lesson, and those are provided for you, and that's already there for you to be able to do your assignment. So go to page 7 and take a look at that. Awesome. Okay, thumbs up my 7th graders if you see where this is on page 7. Thank you, Nevaeh. Good, Alicia. Awesome. Excellent. So you will see on that page where you have to click on the articles, and it'll open up a new page, and that's your research. But you're not comparing and contrasting. You're selecting one of these to do your informational article on. Okay? And then 8th graders. So now we're switching over to my 8th graders. So 7th graders, you can just listen. You'll be doing this next year. Or you can look at page 7 on yours. 8th graders, same thing. 8th graders, page 7. Please choose from one of the topics below to research and write a cause and effect informational article. You will answer how the topic has changed society. So my 8th graders, you could pick from transportation, automobiles, antibiotics, cell phones, solar energy, or video games. You pick one of those topics, and then you're going to write a cause and effect on those topics. But the main thing you're going to be doing is you're going to answer how the topic changed society. So you want to write about how the topic has changed society in a cause and effect informational article, and you're going to pick one of these. Okay, I'm getting a message that I'm breaking up. The Blackboard is really glitchy, and we're working on fixing it. It's not our end. I think it's Blackboard because all the teachers are having the problem with it. So if it sounds glitchy, or if it sounds like you see my mouth moving and then it takes a minute or two before the audio, just kind of bear with it, you guys. I apologize. Hopefully Blackboard's going to get fixed with that, okay? So it's across the board. Thank you for being patient. You know we love our virtual world, but sometimes it teaches us to be flexible, okay? In the last session, I was changing colors. Like for some reason, my face was like going green or red or blue, so just be flexible. All right, 8th graders, any questions? Any questions for my 8th graders or my 7th graders? Any questions? All right, give me a smiley face if we're good. Smiley faces if we're good. Okay, excellent. Fabulous. Okay. So, you know what topic you're doing. My 7th graders, you have your everyday monster. My 8th graders, you're choosing one of these to write a cause and effect informational article. Now, you need to figure out the graphic organizer. So what I want you to do is I want you to open your pace chart, okay? And I want you to go to this week, which ends Friday, October 27th. And I want you to click here at the 2.04 graphic organizer, because I provided the graphic organizer for you. I just want you to walk through with me so I know that you know how to access it and make a copy of it. So right now, everybody go to their pace chart, click on the 2.04 graphic organizer, and give me a thumbs up when you have that. All right, thanks, Kira. Okay, and if you get stuck here, hang out at the end and I can help you. Okay, so once you've done that, it should open up into a new tab, and it should say 2.04, comparing graphs. Don't pay attention to 6th grade, just 7th or 8th grade, okay? Now you need to make a copy of this because you can't write into the version that I did, so you need to make a copy. So to make a copy, you do File, make a copy. So go ahead right now and do File, make a copy. File, make a copy. Okay, and then what did you name it, or what should you name it? Good, I see people done. I'm leaving that slide up there in case people need help. But you should rename it to your name, like first initial, last name, and then 2.04. Okay. 2.04 language arts is fine, but please put your name on it. So it should be like D. Bailey 2.04 LA or 2.04 D. Bailey, but you need to have your name on it and what assignment it is. I would imagine that you have a lot of assignments that are like 2.04, so label it math or language arts or Spanish or whatever class for. If you have been successful in making a copy of your organizer and putting your name on it, give me a thumbs up. Fabulous. Awesome. And if you got stuck there, guys, and you need help, you can hang out when we're done, okay? So now, where did that save to? So where does that save to? Your Google Drive, good. And I just got a pop-up that you're able to see me right now because of my connection. Can you guys see me and hear me? Yes, okay. I'm glad. All right, so yes, it goes into your Google Drive. So after you're done reading 2.04 and you do go back to find your graphic organizer, you want to look in your Google Drive. All right, good. So then after you do that, you're going to read through 2.04. You're going to take your awesome notes. You're going to be so excited and ready. 7th graders, you've read your articles. 8th graders, you have to do your own. So if you are an 8th grader and you're going to do solar energy, you want to do your own research on solar energy. Remember the lessons last week when we went over credible online research. Okay? So 7th graders, you're lucky this year because the articles are provided. 8th graders, you need to do your own research and make sure it's credible. Okay? Don't worry, 7th graders, you'll be there next year. So after you've read the lesson, you've done your research, then what you do is complete each box in your informational compare and contrast research chart, your graphic organizer, and then you save your work to your computer and drive or submit it. Okay? 8th graders, I'm crossing this out because you do have to do research. So 2.04, pretty easy. Read through the lesson, take your notes. 7th graders, read the articles, pick your monster. 8th graders, pick your topic, do your research, and then fill out the graphic organizer. Questions? Smiley face if you understand. And for those of you who were with me last year, it's very similar to what we did last year. Awesome. Okay. So now let's look at, questions on 2.04. I got ahead of myself. Again, if you have questions, please stay at the end and I will help you, or you can always call me or text me. So now 2.05. Is this due this week? Ashley, yes. 2.04 and 2.05 are due this week for both my 7th and 8th graders. Check your page chart. Okay, so 2.05 is all about avoiding plagiarism. And this should be pretty repetitive for those of you who have written before or who have been in our classes before. But it's really, really important. So I want you to take a careful amount of time with 2.05 because it will help the quality of your writing. So for 2.05, I want you to go through and read it and do your notes. This is kind of the main chart that you should have in your notes for my 7th graders. This is how you avoid plagiarism. You paraphrase or you use signal phrases. Okay? Paraphrase is putting words in a new way in your own words. And signal phrases are using verbs to credit sites, speakers with the text of your informational article. In other words, you can go according to the article, it states that, or John Doe explains. Those are your signal phrases. Okay? And then you need to have a works cited page. If you are not familiar with a works cited page, there are resources in your lessons for it, especially on 2.05. And if you need help, please ask me. But it is important that 7th and 8th graders include a works cited page. Now, 7th graders, the articles are provided for you, so you just need to put the information into a works cited page. 8th graders, you're going to need to create a works cited page based on what you research. Okay? The works cited page should be the new page after your article. You want to double space and properly format each entry depending on its source. There's more information on specifically how to do this in 2.05. Okay. 2.05 is a quiz, but this information is really, really important, and you will need to create a works cited page when you turn in your final article at the end of Module 2. So for Module 2, there's not an exam. You're turning in your final article that we're working on. So we're starting with the graphic organizer this week. Next week, you'll write the body, the introduction, the body of it. Yes, 7th grade needs a works cited. but the articles are provided for you. So 7th graders and 8th graders, you need a works cited. 7th graders, you have the articles provided for you. You're welcome. Okay, my 8th graders, very similar. Okay, 8th graders, this is how you avoid plagiarism. You want to use internal citations, quote signal phrases, information and signal phrases. You want to paraphrase, and you want to use your works cited page. Remember, you guys, that everything is always sent in through Turnitin when you turn it into me. So if you have copied and pasted something from an article and you have not properly citations or signal phrases, it's plagiarism. It will pick it up and highlight it in red, and then you'll have to do it again. Right? So it's really important that you are following all of this and using your works cited. Okay? Paraphrase and use your citations. Questions? Okay, thumbs up if you're good on how to avoid plagiarism. Awesome. So we talked about it a little bit, but the works cited page, just to kind of review, you need one regardless of whether you paraphrase or signal phrases. So 7th and 8th graders, you need to have works cited. It's at the end of your article or essay. And then there's a works cited example here. Oops. And I don't think you can click on that because it's a PDF, but I'll put it on the pace chart. It's also in your lesson. Okay, so in your lesson, there's the works cited example, and I'll add it to your pace chart today too. And that's a reminder, you guys, that your pace charts, I'm always adding to them. I like the live lesson today. So you want to make sure that week, probably on Monday mornings, you're going through your pace chart and you're looking at those for each of your classes, okay? And you want to create a works cited page. So it's the last page, center it, double space each citation, and do not skip between entries. Okay, questions. This was quick. There wasn't a lot of you that were here, but that's awesome. So I have a lot of time for you. What can I help you with? And remember, please check your pace chart for the next live lesson. We won't have one next week, but possibly the following week. I will send out an email, and you want to check your pace